Nani, Yafro, Kwame Kuma Yafro, Marcus Gab Yafro.
And we're brought here today to defend the People's International Community Support demand for non-violent, fair and free electoral processes in Ghana, in West Africa.
And so I have to say that we were truly disgusted to see the way that the police were deployed and did deploy terrible reactionary violence against the students of the Islamic Senior High School in Kumasi only 2 weeks ago, who were rightfully raising their voices in the democratic act of peaceful protest against the continued traffic collisions outside their school. They were literally asking to not be run over and were met with tear gas and bullets. This form of peaceful demonstration of a problem has always been central to true democracy, and yet the police opened fire, as I said, with live ammunition, and dozens of students were sent to hospital. How are the youth of Ghana expected to learn what it means to participate in a democracy when met with such ruthless and callous reactionary violence?
The act of protest is a human right protected under international law. This right includes the right to freedom of thought, the right to freedom of expression, and the right to freedom of association. Under international law, communities also have the right to organize themselves in defense of their sovereignty. Through international institutions like the IMF and the World Bank, as well as the co-option of mainstream media. It can also be done through militarization, through selling lethal weapons for crowd control banned under international treaties, and by training police forces like the SMAT in Colombia.
The main options people are given in terms of who to vote for are options which consist in at least instrumentally perpetuating those colonialist, extractivist, consumerist systems and structures which are causing that genocide or mass murder that results from that ecocide. And it's not a coincidence that we also this day is happening at the same time as the Arise Ghana demonstrations which are happening in Ghana, Accra today.
Now the mobilization of young people, indigenous people, and all communities of resistance across Colombia to democratically elect, peacefully so, the government of Francia Marquez and Gustavo Petro, the first government in Colombia that truly is able to represent voices that have never been heard before in Colombia. It's not that there weren't voices there, it's that those voices were actively silent. They were actively silenced by paramilitary forces that were funded by Colombian elites with US funds.
It's very worrying that Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, has been pushing bills such as the Overseas Operation Bill to enable crackdown by security forces overseas.
Refer to this nexus between reparatory justice, environmental justice, and also cognitive justice. And it refers to the fact that when safeguarding the rights of our past, our present, and also future generations, there's a need to proceed from a standpoint of pluriversality that highlights this nexus that I've already mentioned, that is the nexus of reparatory, environmental, and cognitive justice, in articulating the impetus to repair holistically our relationship with and inseparability from Mother Earth, the environment, and the pluriverse.
The messages here emphasize one point, that from here in Britain, where the Maangamizi of coloniality and chattel enslavement, was brought to us in Ghana. There are peoples of conscience rising up, not only within our African heritage communities, but also from, communities from all over the world, including the indigenous communities in Britain that have declared a vested interest in seeing peaceful, democratic transformations, in Ghana, that are telling everybody in Ghana and across the world, that they are prepared to fight alongside the people of Ghana as much as, they are also spearheading that fight to ensure that we work together peacefully for a true democratic transformation, of the world.
The globally organized reactionary violent forces which are standing in the way of all peoples of the majority world for planet repairs, which means reparatory justice, cognitive justice, and the rights to our lands in peace. From Africa to Abya Yala, across the world, and in here in the global north.